What's up guys, Simply Coco here and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another speed build in the world of Mount Komorebi from the new Sims expansion pack, Snowy Escape. So as you can tell from the title, today we are building a starter home. Yet again, I am building in the snowy part of the map. I still don't know what the neighborhood name is, but that's where we're building. I really like building here because you don't have to worry about landscaping so much, because any plants or most of the plants you use will be dead. So I just pull out the ones from Snowy Escape that won't die, and yeah, it just makes the builds easier in a sense because you're not worried about landscaping. You just put the shell of the build down, plop some random plants, and go on to the interior. you know so this was supposed to be a tiny home. It was supposed to be a tiny home for a snowboarder, but as I started building, I really wasn't liking it for that storyline. Not while I was building the exterior, but when I got to the interior and started furnishing the interior, I couldn't come up with a color scheme that I really wanted. And my the whole vibe just kind of changed, and I was like, okay, I really don't want this to be for a snowboarder anymore. So I ended up building it for just a random couple. It is a starter home. It ends up being worth like 21,900 something simoleons is what it ends up being. So right under 22,000 simoleons, which is how much you get if you have two sims moving in. So if you start with one sim, that sim won't be able to afford this lot. But if you start with two sims, they will be able to afford this lot. Because I wasn't sure of the numbers, but I looked it up, and if you have one sim, they start with 20k, and for every adult sim that gets added after that, you get 2 more k. So if you start with 2 adult sims, that's 22k. So hence why this house is right under 22,000 simoleons. But yeah, so when it was going to be a tiny home, I was gonna do it as a limited pack build, and it was gonna be tiny living plus snowy escape and base game, obviously, because when a new pack comes out, I tend to do that. I always build a tiny home with the new pack, but I make it a limited pack build with tiny living plus whatever the new pack is. I did it with Nifty Knitting. I built like a grandma knitting home, and I did it with Eco Lifestyle. So that's what I was gonna do with this. But like I said, once I started the interior, I wasn't really feeling it anymore. So and then it's not even, as it is right now, it's not even a tiny home. It's over 100 tiles. Even if I deleted the platform that I put all around the base, it's still over 100 tiles, and I didn't want it to be any smaller. And I end up extending it more because there was no room for a living room. So at this point, you see me putting this snowboard and ski stand out here because at this point I was still gonna let it be a tiny home for a snowboarder. But yeah, that changes. But this is still a limited pack build. It is using only base game and Snowy Escape. So if you just bought The Sims 4, or if you just bought Snowy Escape and the only other pack you have is the base game, then you can download this house easily. You can put it on this lot. The lot name is in the top left hand corner of your screen of your screen if you want to place it in your game. And obviously if you have more than one pack, then you can still download this and put it in your game. But yeah, it's base game and Snowy Escape only. I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, because I made sure to keep the filters for Snowy Escape and base game on. So yeah. So at first I was going for this like dark wood tone color all throughout, and then I was like, well, I don't want all of the counters to be all this dark wood tone. So I was like, I don't want it to be crazy brown in here. So then I changed it to the more warmer wood tone, and then I didn't like that. And now you're about to see me struggle with the roof for this add-on, because that's going to end up being the living room. And the whole build just ended up being like a mess for a little while. So much so that when I was like done with it, it only took me an hour and 15 minutes to build this collectively, but over a 2-day time period. Like, I started it last night and finished it today. And when I got off the game last night, I was like, I do not like this house, and I'm probably not going to use it for anything. But then I came back in and finished it, and I like it for a starter home. If this was like a home that I just didn't think about a budget for, like, and I was just had max amount of money that I could use, a max budget, I probably wouldn't have cared for it and probably wouldn't have posted it. But since I came up with the idea to use it as a starter home, then I was like, okay, because I do like it as a starter home. But anything else, I probably wouldn't have liked it, and you probably wouldn't be watching it now. But I have, and it's so weird because I have tons of reference photos on my Sims Pinterest board for Japanese inspired builds. But for some reason, I don't know, even though I have all those inspiration pictures, none of them have really been like, ooh, I just really want to build that, and I have to build that. The only time that's happened since I've had the pack was when I built the pop-up sushi bar because I saw a reference photo on Pinterest. But yeah, this build ends up coming out pretty good, like I said, for a starter home, in my opinion. I'm really excited for my next build. It's townhouses. And then the build I'm going to do after that is not really a build. It's just, I mean, it's still considered a build, but it's not going to necessarily have a building on it. I'm going to do a Japanese garden because for a while I've had the idea of doing a meadow, just like a straight up meadow of grass and flowers, maybe like a little shack. And I was going to build it in like Willow Creek or something. But I just never never felt like doing it, or never thought it would be good. But now I want to make a Japanese garden. So those are the next 2 speed builds coming out, along with my Let's Play part. Or yeah, I'm the first 2 parts of my Let's Play. So if you haven't watched the introduction video, that is up on the channel already. And parts 1 and 2 will come out Thursday and Friday. So tomorrow and Friday for my Let's Play. So I hope you watch that. But I completely just talked through the kitchen. So the kitchen ends up being a dark brown and black color scheme. I do end up changing the refrigerator to be the cheaper base game refrigerator, not the one that's raggedy, but like the next one up. Here's the living room area. I use the new couches, the new chairs, fireplace. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what that was. I was going to put that like smaller flat screen TV on there, but it just didn't look right. So I ended up just putting like a regular flat screen on the wall. And I'll go ahead and say now, because this is a pretty short video, is that I'm just going balls to the wall with decoration right now. But that's because I wasn't paying attention to my budget. But then after I finished the entire house, I checked on the gallery and it was worth 26,000 simoleons. So I had to get rid of, at first I was like, dang, I have to get rid of 6,000 simoleons. But then I Googled it and then it said that with 2 sims, you start with 22,000 simoleons. So I was like, okay, well, I only have to get rid of 4,000 simoleons, which is still a lot. So some of the things end up getting replaced by others. So like this tub ends up being a base game tub. The toilet ends up being an even cheaper toilet. I get rid of some of the paintings. Most of the wall art, I don't completely get rid of it. I just replace it with something cheaper. And then I get rid of a lot of the kitchen clutter. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I really just replaced what you're seeing me place down, or what you've seen me place down throughout this entire speed build so far, just mostly gets replaced by other things and not just completely gone. And not everything, just some things. Really just the wall art. Everything else pretty much stays. Except I do delete this ottoman and I put a rug there too. And I think I delete the rug and the ottoman and I give them a mirror. And then you will see me go around and put curtains everywhere, and I do delete all the curtains because there was just no need for them. So I deleted every single curtain that you see me putting down right now. I do end up putting this plant here, but I get rid of that, and then I switch this painting out. But I said the paintings is what I mostly switched out. But anyway, guys, the screenshots are about to be rolling on this build. You will see all the changes in the screenshot. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will always respond to your comments. And please hit that notification bell. That way you know exactly when I post my next video, exactly when I post it, and I will see you all then. Bye, guys.